Who let the birds out?
Who let the birds out? 105.9 The Bird. Oh shit!
I wish we had done. I wish I could have done like a screeching sound right then and there.
Go ahead. Oh man! Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens. My name was Frederick Stewart, Frederick Graves, and with me, almost as always, is my now wife, Taylor Graves.
Hello.
Hello. And with us, of course, the man behind the curtain, or in this case, the man sitting about 30 feet away, is Bill Bernard.
I'm the adopted son here of chaos, of green energy. Forget Charlie Kelly. I plan on getting Shrek'd. This was actually a Halloween costume from this year. I feel like I was more like Marvin the Martian than Love in the Swamp, but you know,
You look like a goblin.
It's so unhinged.
There's so many ways you can go with it. So many ways.
Yeah, I went to go because Bill, we run a different camera for Bill, though it's closer, and went to go test all the cameras before we started filming, and it's just gone. So there'll be no camera today, but next week we'll have it back.
Yes.
Thank God. I do have some news to... I know it's been like a month since we've been gone. We got married, if you guys didn't know, and that was pretty cool. Up top. Nice. That was sick. Yeah, just kind of took a month off to kind of chill, which was, it was nice.
Between that and then my mom moved and...
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of family stuff.
Honestly, it's just been crazy.
But we're ready to get back into it and get back into the news cycle. Coming out of Virginia with AP News... A raccoon goes on a drunken rampage inside Virginia liquor store and passes out on the bathroom floor.
Oh, dude.
Did everybody see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I saw this and I knew immediately we were going to have to make mention of this because
it's animal news.
Yeah. He went on a wild spree. Yes, he did.
Yeah, the comments are pretty funny. It says he broke into the liquor store on Saturday, hit the bottom shelf where the scotch and whiskey was stored, and the bandit was something of a nocturnal menace, and smashing bottles, and then later collapsed in a pool of alcohol.
As he should.
Yeah, Samantha Martin, an officer who works for the local animal control center, said, personally, I like raccoons. They're funny little critters. He fell through one of the ceiling tiles and went on a full-blown rampage, drinking everything. Yeah, so just a fun story. And then they forget to mention that he was shot by law enforcement 57 times following that incident.
Well, oh my God, I was going to say... a coon is as a coon lives.
Oh my God.
I don't like the fact that was on my close-up.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
A coon is as a coon dies.
While wearing green face is insane. Insensitive against the goblin community.
Yeah, just...
You're going to get canceled in like 50 years when goblins finally rise.
I think at this point, if we start a D&D campaign, you have to be a goblin. I don't think there's any other choice at this point.
I've never played as an orc in the Elder Scrolls games, and now I definitely feel like
you need to.
I need to.
Yeah.
I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention also the band Necrogoblicon.
Necrogoblicon's so sick.
Okay. Once I had heard of that and I had seen it, I was like, damn, there's just people out here having a great time and they just do it.
Yeah, John Goblicon does a fantastic podcast too. Man of many talents.
You know what we should do?
Yes.
If we do a D&D campaign, we should once a week just clear the table and have we could do it here.
Yeah.
I would
film
love
it.
that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We can film it pretty easy.
Yeah.
So hear that? More content. And if you want to see that,
I'm coming up with ideas.
Yeah, she is. Look at that. Well, we have quite the episode for you this week. Been sitting on this for about 2 weeks now, and I've just been reading it over and over again, and it's horrible. It's horrible. Everything in this is horrible. So, guys, dead air. Listen.
Sorry.
Well, I'm
Jesus, man.
just listening. I thought you had more to say.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad news. It's bad news bears.
Bad news bears.
Bad news bears coming this summer. That just reminds me. I've been playing Island Wake.
Okay. Oh, yes.
It's texting me about it. And some of the best, worst voice acting I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah,
it really takes you out of the moment.
I have yet to play the game, but you're the only person who I've ever talked to who actually has an opinion on it that isn't just like fanboying the game.
It is a good game, but it's also really bad.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
There's a whole, like, I'm not going to get super into details. We'll do an HGO gaming on it, but there's a whole thing about these people called the Taken. Mm-hmm. They're like monsters.
Yeah.
And it infects people. And there's just these enemies that you'll face, and they have like one-liners that they do that are supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
But it's just like you go against a logger, and he has a chainsaw at one point, and he's like, "Logging is a dangerous profession." It's like, that's just a fact. And then like you go against a police officer, and he's like, "Did you call 911?" It's like, what the fuck is this?
So it stands to reason here, because I'm very every time it stands to reason. My immediate question was it like a translation thing where like it came out in like Japan or some other place, and then they just had them do generic lines, and
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's certainly a ride, I'll tell you that much. But let's talk about our topic this week. We're covering Rodney Alcala, aka the dating game killer.
Yes.
And I want you, Bill had you do some kind of research on him, look into him. Taylor, you said you kind of know about him, so you tell me what you guys know.
Wasn't he on he did the dating show?
The dating game? Yeah. Hence how I got his name.
I can't remember the exact name of it, but
literally just said it.
Oh, is that just the name?
The dating game.
I thought it had a more fun name than that. That was a pretty boring name.
No, it's not called like Catch, Kill, Eat.
No.
Yeah, that would be good. I was gonna say it's also not Pop the Balloon, because that's basically what the modern iteration is.
Well, because wasn't it like it was either during or before? I can't remember exactly. I know like bits and pieces, but
okay. Well, we'll get into that. Bill, did you do some heavy research? Did you just kind of skim?
I know as much as the dating game, because I know that he had murdered people by the time he had been on the show, and that the lady who he was supposed to go on the date with didn't end up going on the date with him because he was given like weird creepo vibes, and everybody was kind of feeling that way.
Yeah.
Like as far as I know, the two people who made the call to have him on the show, one was about him and the other one was not, but it still went through. And I think he gave like some provocative answers, and then that's about as much as I know.
Once we get into that part of the story, what we'll do is we'll take a pause in production.
Sure.
I'll play the episode for you guys.
Oh,
and
I'd love that.
Then we'll continue.
Okay.
Obviously we'll have to cut it because it's copyright and all that.
Right.
But I'll read some transcripts and stuff later on about it.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll actually watch the episode. It's highly unsettling. But anyway, this is the story of Rodney Alcala, a.k.a. the dating game killer. Los Angeles, California, the city of angels run by devils. Nice. Los Angeles has always had a dark side to it. The Hillside Stranglers, the Skid Row Ripper, the Night Stalker. Los Angeles has been the home to killers, rapists, cult leaders for years. Probably still is. It is definitely still is.
Oh, yeah.
So it comes as no surprise that we go back there again to talk about a man who shocked the nation, Ted Bundy before Ted Bundy. This is the story of the dating game killer, a.k.a. Rodney Alcala.
Ooh.
Dun 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 dun. Need some like spooky music.
We have ambiance, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Born August
Oh,
23rd, 1940. What the fuck was that, dude? That took me out of it so fast. It's like fat guy music. Anyway, that's killer. So, born August 23rd, 1943, Rodney was the third of 4 children born to Raul Bador and Ana Gutierrez in San Antonio, Texas. At the age of 8, Rodney's father, Raul, moved the family to Mexico in 1951, then promptly abandoned them just 3 years later. Not cool, Dad. Basically, I imagine it went something like this. Wife, children, I have decided I'm going to go fulfill my dream of becoming a deadbeat dad. Later, fuckers, and then just like left.
I mean, that is a story that is old as time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I have a whole joke that I wrote about it like years ago that it's just one of my favorites. If I don't have kids, but eventually I would like to have kids, and I just like know that they're going to get to an age where they start talking back and saying things like, fuck you, Dad, fuck you, Mom. Yeah. And I'm going to do to them what my dad did to me. Leave.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, I always thought that joke was fun. Anyway, shortly after his father abandoned his family, his mother moved their family to Los Angeles, California. They moved in the suburbs and got Rodney into quite a good school. One of the interesting things that I find is that even with all the hardships that Rodney faced as a kid, he was like excelling in school, right? He was considered quite popular and was supported by his friends and peers, and was even on the yearbook planning committee and on the track on the track team and cross country team. So he was like active. He was like, my dad's a dick. I'm just gonna like go on and do my thing. And I think maybe once he got out of that chaotic environment, kind of started to thrive a little bit more, which is good. But there's always something.
Yeah.
Always something lurking beneath the surface.
Well, that's why we're talking about him.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Dad. Comedy. So in 1961, at the age of 17, Rodney felt compelled to do something more with his life as he graduated from the prestigious Cantwell Sacred Heart of Mary High School, a private school. So, Rodney joined the good old U.S. Army and enlisted as a paratrooper and clerk during the midway point of the Vietnam War.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. He went in on purpose. He was like, seeing what was happening in Vietnam, was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So that takes a little bit of something, a little bit of salt, if I can get in there.
Yeah.
But during his short time in service, his command staff noted that Rodney was being manipulative, vindictive, and insubordinate. On top of that, Alcala was disciplined on several occasions for assaulting women. And in 1964, after what was described as a nervous breakdown, Alcala went AWOL.
Damn. Okay.
And Bill, as someone who has been in the military,
yes,
the next thing I'm going to say to you, you'll probably know where this place is. So he goes AWOL. He's at Fort Bragg.
Okay.
You know where Fort Bragg's at, right?
That's in North Carolina, I think.
He hitchhikes his way from Fort Bragg to Los Angeles.
Wow.
That's insane.
2,500 miles away.
2,500 miles. Like, he wasn't planning on coming back. I'll just tell you that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not one fucking bit.
Yeah.
So he was later described, or later diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. Okay. Shocker. And it was also reported that he had an estimated IQ of 135.
Oh.
Shit.
So he was a smart dude.
Yeah.
He was smart as hell. And he just was like, fuck it, I don't want to be here anymore. This sucks. People won't let me be a bad guy here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that there's a number of people who definitely fall through the cracks or are just doing the right things enough where they're like, we'll find a place for you because you're not failing your PT tests. You're committing to the whole airman concept. So we can make that DUI go away. You just got to keep being Air Force all the way. And it's like one of those sort of things where it's like, yeah, they sweep a lot of stuff under the rug if you get results.
I have a friend, I'm not going to name names, but I have a friend who I assume the inside of his head is like an empty mason jar that has a single moth in it. And he's genuinely one of the dumbest people I've ever met, but he's a door gunner.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's perfect job for you.
Okay.
No think, just point squeeze.
Yeah. I
Press the paddles down.
Yep, I would say he understands how to lead his target.
Yeah,
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, he's literally. I'm like, you're perfect for it, dude. You're the man.
Yeah.
So obviously, Alcala was discharged from the army for being a little too goofy, aka medical reasons.
Yeah.
Other diagnoses later proposed by various psychiatric experts at his later trials included narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, malignant narcissism with psychopathy, sexual sadism, as well as being an asshole. Imagine being too crazy to go fight in Vietnam.
That's insane.
That is
Dude. They're like,
insane.
Instead of just being like, all right, Alcala, you fucked up enough. You're going to Nam, where he could have just, that could have been a totally different story.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're gonna let you just not be here anymore. We don't really want you.
It also begs the question for me, like whether or not he went in before or after the My Lai massacre, because they changed a lot of stuff after that happened.
Yeah, but it's the midway point of Vietnam. Like they're still fighting in Nam.
Yeah,
like you can just be like, yeah, we'll throw you out there for a little bit.
Yeah,
like go play, Alcala, go play.
Yeah. That's wild, man.
We've brought it up on the show before, I'm sure, but like making like an Expendables team of like the most violent serial killers there is.
Oh yeah.
Just dropping them in like a war zone and be like, have at it, boys.
I mean, I could tell you this. There's a place where that's already happened. It's called Ukraine, because that's exactly what Russia did.
Yeah, that is true.
And then
now those guys are scared of the sound that a bee makes.
That or oh yes,
it's like fuck, dude. Those videos are so scary,
dude. Like no, like there's gonna be a whole subset of people who are dealing with PTSD that like is gonna sound like if you brought that up to somebody in Nam, they'd be like, "You've been watching too much fucking Star Wars, bro." And it's like, no. It's real life right now.
It's real life right now. It's crazy shit. So once Alcala got out of the military, he enrolled in the UCLA School for the Arts and Literature or Architecture. Later in his life, he would actually study film under Roman Polanski, which is actually pretty wild.
Oh my God, that is way too much of a fucking coincidence.
Way too much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take long for Rodney to get into trouble. On September 25th, 1968, a passing motorist called police after witnessing Alcala lure Tally Shapiro, aged 8, into his vehicle in Los Angeles. Shapiro, who was living with her family in the Chateau Marmont with her parents, her mom at the time, her parents, was approached by Alcala on her way home, on her way to school, when he picked her up. Jesus Christ, my brain is melting. I've only been awake an hour. Basically pulls up alongside her, asks if she needs a ride.
Yes.
My brain words were hard. Shapiro initially refused, but Alcala did the classic move that our parents all warned us about. He said that he knew her parents.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Right. And Shapiro unfortunately believed him. The stories we heard as kids of stranger danger is built in the blood of those before us.
Yes. The same thing is true of speed bumps.
Yeah. Yep, literally. That's true. Yeah. So Alcala took Shapiro into his apartment where he told Shapiro he wanted to take her picture. Instead, Alcala beat Shapiro over the head with a steel bar and sexually assaulted her. What Alcala didn't know is that a good Samaritan named Donald Haynes had witnessed Alcala pick up Shapiro on the side of the road. Donald felt pretty uneasy about the whole situation and decided to call 911 and put in a tip. And it would be none other than former LAPD officer Chris Camacho who would respond to the call. Officer Camacho knocked on Alcala's door, and the door opened slightly to reveal Alcala's face, right? And Camacho described that Alcala had this look of just evil in his face, right? And Alcala tells the officers that he just got out of the shower and to give him a moment. And in typical LAPD fashion, Camacho said, "I'll give you to the count of 10. So Alcala closed the door, right? He goes, "I'll give you the count of 10. He goes, 1. And he kicks the fucking door open.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Door flies open. And inside is horror. Laying on the kitchen floor was the lifeless body of the 8-year-old Shapiro. Camacho quickly went to get Alcala into custody, but he had fled out the back. When Camacho re-entered the kitchen, he was surprised to find that Shapiro, despite her injuries, was now breathing. She would later be in a 32-day coma and spend months in recovery, but would eventually survive.
That is really good and really lucky.
Yeah.
Really lucky.
Why do I feel like we've heard about Camacho before?
I think he's been in a few different things.
Because, I feel like we've talked about him before.
Yeah, when he's LAPD, I'm pretty sure that I feel like he was involved in another serial killer case as well.
I think he was, yeah.
It'd be
Sounds
crazy if it was
familiar.
if it was the Night Stalker or something like that.
Yeah, that would actually be insane. Just keeps getting mixed up into serial killer stories and catching.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I feel like we've talked about this dude before, and it seems like maybe he can't catch a break.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Alcala was gone, and this was only the beginning. An arrest warrant was placed out for Alcala following the attack, but Alcala had fled Los Angeles and headed east to New York City, another place known for serial killers. Once Alcala made it to New York City, he enrolled at NYU using the name of John Berger, spelled Berger, as an alias, which is fucking stupid. It's a dumb alias. They go, "So what's your name?" And he goes, "John." They go, "What's your last name?" He looks around. He's like, sees a food cart. He's like, Berger. Yeah. Thanks, John Berger. Fucking asshole. It comes at no surprise that Alcala was considered popular at NYU. He was described as charismatic and charming by his fellow students and staff, which reminds me a lot of Ted Bundy. An otherwise normal and charming student is actually that of a cold-blooded killer. It would be 3 years following the Shapiro attack before Alcala would strike again. June 1971, Cornelia Crilly, a flight attendant who, with the Trans World Airlines, aka TWA, was moving into her Manhattan apartment on East 83rd Street. Leon Borenstein, Cornelia's boyfriend, was working and had returned to the apartment to assist Cornelia with her unpacking, as she had been doing it all day. But to his surprise, he had found that the door was locked. After knocking several times and failed to reach her by phone, Leon called the NYPD for a welfare check. Police breached the apartment and found the remains of Cornelia, stripped naked, strangled with her own nylon stockings, and an obvious bite mark on her breast. It is believed that on that day of June 12, 1971, Cornelia was moving furniture into her apartment. Alcala was possibly walking by or stalking and offered to assist with moving the furniture. Being the known charming psychopath he is, she agreed. And with the almost 2,000 killings in New York City at the time, the NYPD was unable to find anything to tie someone to the murder. 2,000 a year in New York City at the time. As forensic options were that we have today didn't exist yet, her murder would go unsolved until 2011.
Oh, shit.
It's a long time.
That is a long time.
To make matters even worse, in 1971, shortly after the murder, Alcala obtained a counseling job in New Hampshire, the New Hampshire Arts Camp for Girls, using a different alias of that of John Berger, spelled Burger. Went from burger to burger.
Burger.
Yes. That's
all that matters is they got the fries.
Yeah, fucking. It's just like, he's supposed to be this super smart guy. And then he's like, I'm going to go from Rodney Alcala to John Berger. And then he goes, I just killed somebody. I'm going to go to New Hampshire and work at a camp for children. And
go by Ron
go by the same fucking name. Yeah.
I'm just going to spell it a little different, guys. No one will ever know.
So stupid. At this camp, 2 girls went to the post office to mail some letters home. When they walked inside, there was one of those like cork panel boards with all the notices on it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And on that panel board was the current FBI's top 10 most wanted on there, right?
Yeah.
To their shock, they saw a familiar face. Their counselor, Mr. Berger, a.k.a. Rodney Alcala, looking back at him.
Ooh.
The girls very quickly returned to camp and notified the dean, who contacted law enforcement, and Alcala was finally arrested and extradited to California for the assault on Shapiro.
Wow.
But as I've said on this show time and time again, don't worry, it gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
So Alcala is brought back to L.A. to face charges for rape and attempted murder, but the biggest problem for authorities was the fact that their star witness, Shapiro, was now living in Mexico with her family. And Shapiro's family refused to allow Talley to testify against Alcala, I assume due to the traumatic nature of everything.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
parents were like, we don't want to put our kid through that.
Mm-hmm.
This left prosecutors with little option, as they didn't have their star witness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mad the cats are playing.
Yeah. They offered Alcala a plea deal. 3 years in federal prison, plus he would have to become a registered sex offender following his release. Alcala agreed, and at a moment that stunned everyone, the judge sentenced Alcala to 1 to life. 1 to life.
1 to life?
What?
Alcala would be paroled in 1974 after serving 17 months.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yep.
What does that even legally mean, 1 to life? Where it's like, if we decide you just can't change, you're going to be in there forever, but you're only obligated to serve a year?
It is like you're eligible for parole up at a year.
Versus the like 25 to life, where it's like you're
Holy
eligible
hell.
for parole after 25 years.
Yeah.
Or 35 to life.
Yeah.
After 35 years,
Yeah.
you're up for parole. So basically, yeah, after a year, he's up for parole.
That's so insane.
It's fucking insane. Insane.
Yes.
So, less than 2 months following his release, he was rearrested for assaulting a 13-year-old girl, identified in court documents as Julie J., who accepted what she thought would be a ride to school. A very similar story.
Mm-hmm.
Alcala was once again paroled in 1976 after serving just 2 years.
God, man.
So they let him get away with it twice, right?
Yeah.
He gets out, right? And he goes to his parole officer in Los Angeles and goes, listen, clearly LA is not for me. I want to go back to New York. And his fucking parole officer takes the unusual step of going, you know, you're a repeat offender and known flight risk. Go ahead, travel to the Big Apple. You can live there. So he fucking lets Alcala leave Los Angeles and go back to New York. Obviously, they don't know about the murder.
Yeah.
Right. But they're like, yeah, go ahead. You're fine.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking more so than anything, they must have thought that they must have thought that he was enough of a problem that he didn't want to deal with it. I would think that, or him being as smart as he is, he might have been able to suppress his craziness enough to try and convince people who were in authority and knew what he was capable of like, hey, I need to leave. I'll do this thing over there, and you'll never hear from me again. Yeah,
it's still just insane to me. So
yes,
his parole officer goes, sure, buddy, you can go back to New York. That's fine. To make matters worse for NYPD, they didn't have to just worry about Rodney, as that another serial killer was actually terrorizing the city at the time. Can anyone guess around this time? So it's the mid to late 70s. What serial killer? Mid 70s, when in New York, around the 76, 77 area. Another serial killer.
I was going to say, is it Son of Sam?
It is, in fact, David Berkowitz, aka the Son of Sam, was in full swing. Full swing. So Rodney Alcala shows back up to New York. Son of Sam is in full swing right now.
Oh. Jesus.
He's the 44 caliber killer right now. He's going around just blasting fucking people.
That's insane. Yeah, so they're...
Yeah. You'll see this like time and time again and in this story. Like of stuff like this. So Son of Sam is in full swing, and just a week after his arrival, Alcala would finally fulfill his homicidal compulsion again. So Ellen Hover, age 23, the daughter of famous LA nightclub owner Herman Hover, and goddaughter of Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr., was last seen in a New York apartment on July 15, 1977. Her date book showed that she had been in an appointment with one John Berger that same day of her disappearance. And Herman Hover, her father, he ran, I want to say it was called Zero, out of Los Angeles, and it was like the big like Hollywood elite nightclub. That's like where all the famous celebrities went.
Right.
And like, I mean, fucking godfathers were Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. It's very like Hollywood centric family, right?
Yes. It would
be a year later until the remains of Hover were discovered buried underneath heavy rocks along the hillside overlooking the Hudson River, near a location on the John D. Rockefeller estate. I know there's a lot of name drops in this episode, and everybody kind of looks at me and goes, oh, well, checks out. The same location where an aspiring model would later report that a quote Berger had taken photos of her. So Alcala went and was being chatty, and getting with aspiring models and stuff. Be like, I'll take your photos, and he was like premeditating scouting locations to dump bodies. Hover's remains were so badly decomposed by this point that she had to be identified via dental records, but to investigators, it was obvious. This was a homicide, because obviously bodies don't bury themselves under rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe she could have got washed up and landed right there, and they're like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So they're dealing with that and the Son of Sam at the same time.
That's insane.
But Rodney didn't let his convictions or murders slow him down. He very quickly moved back to LA after his murders and got a job with the Los Angeles Times as a typesetter and photographer, all the while being a registered sex offender. No one bothered to check.
That's egregious, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was going to like weddings and shit, like Hollywood weddings, taking photos.
That's insane.
And they were like, this Rodney guy's a hoot. He's a hoot, this guy.
He's a little weird, but that's okay.
No, that's the problem. He wasn't weird. He was just like, he was charming as fuck.
Well, like originally he was weird though, right? Like
he's a weird one. He's weird alone, like 1v1, and just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But like in a social setting, he is like the fucking shining star.
That's so weird.
They're like, this guy is fun. We should hang out with this guy more. And he's like, he's a fucking rapist and serial killer.
That's insane.
He is technically one kill away from becoming a serial killer, but serial killer nonetheless. Not only that, but at that time, Los Angeles was dealing with another serial killer. So he goes to New York. He's dealing with the Son of Sam.
Yeah.
Kills somebody. Goes back to Los Angeles. Can anyone guess what serial killer was operating at that time in Los Angeles?
What year?
Like this is late 70s.
Is it
mid to late 70s?
Is it what's the fucking like we've talked about him before.
We brought him up. I don't think we haven't done an episode on him.
No?
We brought him up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was what's his face, the one that carved into his hand?
Night Stalker?
Yeah.
No. It's not the Night Stalker.
Is it the Zodiac?
It is not the Zodiac. So not only that, but Alcala goes back to Los Angeles, and detectives come to him and they go, "Hey, we want to interview you because you're involved in sex crimes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna ask some questions. We're with the Hillside Strangler Task Force.
Oh shit.
Who obviously were hunting the Hillside Stranglers at the time. So the Hillside Strangler Task Force are interviewing Alcala. They'd be like, did you fucking do this, right?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, the real Hillside Strangler was actually doing ride-alongs to LAPD who were actively looking for him.
That is so sus, bro. That's so crazy.
It's actually insane.
That's one way to insert yourself into an investigation.
So he goes to fucking New York. Son of Sam's operating. He goes back to Los Angeles. The Hillside Stranglers are operating. But the Hillside Stranglers were riding with members of LAPD.
God, dude, that makes me think of like either like Dexter or even when you think about it, Walter White in Breaking Bad,
running like DEA.
The ruse he played the whole entire time.
Yeah, we'll do an episode on Hillside Stranglers because it's another one of those episodes because like the same guy who worked on that is the guy who also helped catch the Night Stalker.
Oh my God!
Like it's a whole story. So also while being questioned by LAPD regarding the Hillside Stranglings, Alcala was found to have marijuana on his person and was arrested. So he gets arrested.
Smoking that grass, they'll catch your ass.
Yeah. So during this period, Alcala convinced hundreds.
Yeah.
Putting that in there, hundreds of young men and women that he was a professional fashion photographer and took photos of them for his portfolio. A Los Angeles Times coworker later recalled that Alcala shared these photos with the workmates. Quote, "I thought it was weird, but I was young and I didn't know anything," she said. When I asked why he took the photos, he said their moms asked him to. I remember the girls were naked. Quote, he said he was professional, so in my mind, I was being a model for him. Said a woman who was allowed Alcala to photograph her in 1979. The portfolio included spread after spread of naked teenage boys, she said. Most of the photos were sexually explicit, and most of the subjects remain unidentified. Police fear that some of the subjects may be additional cold case victims.
Wow.
And there is actually somewhat redacted photos online that the FBI still has up in the hopes that they can possibly identify further victims because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know if these people have been killed or not. And finally, the namesake of this episode, on September 13th, 1978, September 13, 1978, Alcala appeared on America's favorite show at the time, The Dating Game.
Yeah.
We made it. So, Cheryl Bradshaw, the Bachelorette for this episode, had no idea that she was sitting on the other side of the wall of a convicted rapist and serial killer, and now she was to see if Alcala would be her man.
Yeah.
Other than calling himself a banana, Rodney did shockingly well, even ended up winning a date with Cheryl. But Rodney's first question was a look behind the veil without letting too much slip. And we'll be right back so we can show everybody the clip. So, yeah, that's basically the crux of that.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Isn't that fucking scary?
Not only him, but what the fuck were those questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a dirty old man. Oh, yeah. Get on over here, sweetheart, so I can feel you. Like, Jesus Christ.
And we're back. I just had to show them the Dating Game episode. And if you haven't seen it, just look up Rodney Alcala Dating Game, and you'll see it. But this is a transcript from the first question. Bachelor number 1. What's the best? Sorry, I have to do it. It's her voice. What's your best time? The best time is nighttime. The best time. Why do you say that? Because that's the only time there is. The only time? What's wrong with morning or afternoon? Well, they're okay, but nighttime is when it really gets good. Then you're really ready. Which is so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
It's so creepy. And then the other questions that I didn't include into this, but we all saw, are even more insane. Like the whole it's like, you're a dirty old man, and makes him improv as a dirty old man. And he's just going like, fuck, like on national TV. It's like, what the fuck is this?
I don't find that man charming at all.
No, it's the question for where he's like has this quick wit about him. of like like I'm serving you a dinner. Like, what are you and what do you look like? And he goes, I'm a banana and I look really good. And she's like, well, that's kind of a funny question. Like, can you elaborate? And he goes, peel me. It just has this quick wit about him.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you fucking bastard. That's how you were doing that shit. It's just because he has this like way about him.
I guess, yeah.
Of this confidence.
Yeah.
I don't find him charming at all. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because I just went
but
over the last like 30 minutes of how he raped and murdered people.
I still wouldn't find him charming if he was acting like that.
If you had to choose
anyways.
between him and contestant number 3.
Fuck.
I don't like either of them.
Yeah, the middle guy seemed like the nicest guy.
Yeah, he did.
His actual that middle guy's answers. The last 2 guys were pretty good. The guy in the end, he had some kind of funny, weird answers. Very Alcala based, but like, whatever. But yeah, it's bizarre. So even though Rodney ended up winning the episode, which included a tennis date with Cheryl, as well as getting tennis clothes. It was like they were gonna have to go like a tennis coach, and it was gonna be this like cool LA date.
Yeah.
Probably some like avocado toast and shit. Cheryl backed out, describing Alcala as creepy. That intuition probably saved her life.
Yeah.
In the end, right? Because who knows how that date would have ended up.
Right.
If she was like, maybe found him charming throughout the date, and then was like, yeah, you're not crazy. And then he ends up like, oh, fuck, you are crazy. but also just that whole show, because I was like, there's no way every episode is like this, where it's this creepy. And it is. Every episode's that creepy.
I don't know.
The whole show was creepy.
Yeah. I don't like it.
My only exposure to it was from Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio, because I guess the real life guy had also been on the show, which makes me wonder, like, what the fuck sort of vetting were you guys doing?
Have you
Absolutely
guys committed a crime? You have? Perfect.
You can do the dating game with like a prison.
It's called JPay.
Yeah, there's women that would sign up for that.
Yes.
Lots of them, actually.
There's a podcast, and I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but they pull up like attractive female inmates,
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, my name is Vanessa. I'm out of Idaho Correctional Facility. I stabbed my boyfriend, but I'm getting out soon. Like, it's just like all everybody's like, well, you probably won't stab me again. It's like,
You probably won't do it again, guys.
Probably not. Contestant number 1. Have you raped and murdered people? You can tell me. I was like, no. It's like, I don't believe you.
I've seen some beautiful woman. That's not a good answer,
Dude,
bro.
all his
like,
answers,
shit.
every one of his answers are cryptic as fuck.
Yes.
Except for that second one where he just starts moaning. And he's like, take it. Which is a real line. I don't understand.
Oh, God.
I don't understand.
And the whole crowd's eating it up. They love it.
Yeah.
And it's like no one else is like, ew, dude. Different time, I guess.
That's
Different time.
different time, and I think the thing about it is it's like when people are in the throes of the crowd, like they lose themselves to the chaos and things that they might have otherwise spoken out about, they're like, they lose themselves. And so even if they probably knew, like if it wasn't a threat to them, maybe they'd just be like, wow, that Rodney guy is a real piece of shit, but I can't get enough of this show. That's all I could think.
This Rodney guy's a real asshole, but goddamn is it good television.
Yep.
So shortly after his episode that debuted, right, which debuted on September 13, 1978. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, this is before. This is before, a year before. In November 1977, Alcala murdered Jill Terry Barcombe, an 18-year-old from Ondea, New York, and disposed of her body on a dirt path near Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles. Barcombe was found naked in a knee-to-chest position, and there was obviously signs of sexual assault, and she had been strangled to death. She also had the 3 bite marks on her breast, which kind of seemed to be his MO. right, that he did.
Yeah.
And originally, authorities thought Barcombe had been the victim of the Hillside Strangler because that was a very similar MO at the time. However, her case was ultimately declared by authorities to have been unrelated after the arrest of the perpetrators of the Hillside Stranglings.
Okay.
Neither of whom confessed to nor were ever convicted of the murder. A short time later, in December 6, 1977, 27-year-old nurse Georgia Marie Wickstead was discovered dead in her Malibu apartment. It was last seen when she drove another nurse, Barbara Gale, home from the bar. When she did not show for work the next day, Gale and her coworkers reported her missing. Police arrived to the apartment to find signs of obvious forced entry, and she was once again posed on the bathroom floor and strangled. Once again, had been sexually assaulted and had her skull bashed in. Prosecutors used DNA and a handprint and later convict Alcala of the being at the scene. This was obviously much time later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In June 24th, 1978, Charlotte Lee Lamb, age 31, a legal secretary from Santa Monica, was found dead in her laundry room of the apartment complex where she was living in El Segundo. She had been once again sexually assaulted, beaten, and strangled with shoelace, and was posed with her hands behind her back. DNA at the scene would later match Alcala. Not only that, to the obviously the physical evidence and the DNA on the pair of earrings found in his storage locker after Robin Christine Sam So's 1979 murder, which would prove to match Lamb's DNA. And in February 14, 1979, see, I just keep going, dude. It's one after another another. Alcala picked up a 15-year-old hitchhiker, Monique Hoyt in Riverside County, drove her to his apartment where he sexually assaulted her, and then traveled the mountains where he later took those photos that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And later ended up assaulting her and bludgeoning her in the head with a rock until she died. I'm still going. It's not done yet. On June 13th, 1979, Jill Marie Parentu, a 21-year-old computer key punch operator, which I don't even know what that is. Key punch operator? Maybe just like...
So, I'm pretty certain key punch operators are like... That was like one of those mechanical jobs that you were doing, kind of similar to like a switchboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's the first time I've I know I wrote it down, but I was like just like pulling up information.
Fucking computers.
Fucking computers, magnets. How do they work?
Yeah. Yes.
And when she did not, so she left early for work to go to a baseball game. And this is in Los Angeles, so probably the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Well, she did not make it to work the following morning. Police went to her Burbank apartment and found signs of forced entry. Parentu was found dead, naked on her bathroom floor, and once again was posed, sexually assaulted, beaten, and strangled. He has this MO of like forcing entry, getting in, tying someone up, assaulting them, strangling them, and bashing their head in. But her killer had cut himself crawling through a window, and blood evidence would later identify Alcala to be the perpetrator. So he's just leaving around fucking DNA evidence everywhere. But at the time, like I said, it wasn't like one of those things where like it's, you know, it is today. We have like APHIS,
right?
Where you can just like plug it in. And you're like, it's this fucking asshole. Let's go get him. Still going. He attacked Robin Samso that I talked about, who was a 12-year-old from Huntington Beach, and she had disappeared as she rode a bicycle from her Huntington Beach home on the way to ballet class on June 20th, 1979, and her decomposed body was found 12 days later in the Los Angeles foothills, dumped off Santa Anita Canyon Road, which just seems like he had this premeditation of going to the same place that the Hillside Stranglers are dumping people.
Yeah.
And just dumping bodies there to try to like muddy the waters.
Right.
And he was definitely doing that. But yeah, pretty much the same. It's just it's the same MO over and over again. Like strangle, beat, stab, assault, right? Mm-hmm. Sam Shu's friends told police that a stranger had approached him on the beach asking to take their pictures prior to the assault. Mm-hmm. Detectives circulated the sketch of the photographer, and Alcala's parole officer immediately recognized him. Wow. Probably the same parole officer that let him go to New York.
Wow.
You know, and he was just like, it's like,
what the hell are you doing
it's
here?
like, oh, Colin, I told you not to be a rapist anymore. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was on the dating game. And they're like, I know.
It was a fun episode.
Do you want to go to Canada or Mexico and disappear? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like the dumbest probation officer I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you got to just realize that career is not for you.
Yeah.
You know, like, you just got to go, like, after he gets caught of all these murders, that PO should just been like, well, I'm going to go live in, like, Yuma, Arizona. Like, I'm just going to go live somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, where there's
not
like,
doing a very good job.
I'm going to go to Aztec, New Mexico,
right.
which is just outside of Farmington, New Mexico.
Okay.
It's a little note for Marty.
No. So one of the things that I'm like really curious about is at what point do they just like pull the chocks? And I know you'll say that, but I'm like, I just wonder at what point do they realize we messed up?
They'll never really admit it.
Well, yeah. You
Um,
never expect a government or any sort of agency to ever take accountability.
Never.
That's why it's our job to take accountability when we do wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah. So we go all the way up to, you know, I just described what the last 7 fucking murders in a row, right?
Yeah.
Murders of children, women, sexually assaulting boys. This goes for years.
Yeah.
And it takes all the way up to them, the police finally getting a composite sketch and Alcala's PO to be like, hey, that's Alcala. So the LAPD immediately goes and picks him up on July of 1979, and he's held without bail for the murder of Samso. He goes on trial and was found guilty in May of 1980 and was sentenced to death.
Oh, I was gonna say
back when California had some balls.
I was gonna say, was it like 5 to life or some shit?
Yeah.
Since that's what he's been getting.
Finally, a judge that has the fucking cojones to be like, no, buddy, we hate you so much that we're gonna fucking kill you. Like, yeah, dude, that's the good decision. It should have been like, you sentenced to death in June, and then like July should have been like, all right, let's get going.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, that's insane to like.
However,
oh no,
it only gets worse. The verdict was overturned by the California Supreme Court in 1984.
Why?
Because jurors had been improperly informed of his prior sex crimes. So, in
like
May,
that was gonna change the outcome.
I mean,
it's funny that you say that because that's very true. Because in May 1986, after a second trial, virtually identical to the first, except for the omission of the prior criminal testimony, he was once again convicted and sentenced to death in August.
They were like, wait. I don't think you guys had the right opinion on this guy, okay?
Yes, prosecutor, I'm listening.
I need you guys to know.
You're going to be the defense.
He also has a long list of sexual assaults.
Okay. And I'm glad that you finally brought that up. We're doing a retrial of Rodney Alcala. And we tried to get all of the jurors back in. We could only really find one that wanted to come back. Juror number 1?
Yes.
What's your, guilty, not guilty?
I'll just put it to you this way. I don't want to be on the same planet that this person is.
I've heard enough. Guilty. Sentenced to death. Again. It's like, fuck, that was easy. We should do this all the time. And then like our next guy comes in and he's like, I'm here for my traffic courts. We're like, juror number 1, death. It's just like, fuck, why are we doing this all the time?
Yeah.
It's so easy. Except they were. Don't get me started on people who were
That's
innocently
juror number 1. What is the fucking midnight Stalker.
Oh my God, the Midnight Stalker,
Or whatever the fuck his name is. I can never remember.
the Night Stalker.
Yep, there we go.
Yes.
The Midnight Stalker.
I was close.
Midnight Stalker.
Well, what would be
I
the
was close
crazier
enough.
is if that was like the nickname given to somebody who was like the prized zoner at Target, because he stocks the best stuff and he's up all night, no complaints. Bill, you're the Midnight Stalker. Please don't fucking call me that. Don't call me that. I give me the pizza party, but don't fucking call me the Night Stalker. I don't want that at all.
This is Steve, our Midnight Stalker here at Target. It's like, hello. It's like, oh, he seems kind of cool. Like, so what, he just stalks like the shelves at midnight? It's like, yeah, he does that. He's also a convicted pedophile. It's like, oh, fuck.
That's why we put
hard
him
for
at
him
midnight.
to find work.
Yeah.
He's put at midnight because less chance of kids coming in.
Yes.
But every so often, it's like Five Nights at Freddy's. Just walking through the Target in the middle of the flashlight. Like, oh, it's a mannequin just like a Target employee. Then you turn and look and it's gone. Like, oh, fuck. Just comes up behind him and is like, do you like baseball? No!
Something.
I got a puppy in my van. You want to see it? Like, I don't believe you even. I don't think you're even allowed to have animals. So, or said that. So in 1992, the Supreme Court, right, California Supreme Court, Alcala goes up and had filed a habeas corpus petition, right? Basically being like, you guys can't fucking do that. I'm not doing this. And this goes on from 1992 to 2001. It takes that long,
Jesus Christ.
as you would expect.
I was 9 by that time.
And Jesus, man, you're fucking old. Dude. Old. A United States District Court judge granted habeas corpus, overturning Alcala's second conviction. The decision was upheld in 2003 by Ninth Circuit Court Appeals panel, in part because a witness was not allowed to support Alcala's contention that the park ranger who had found Sam Shio's body had, quote, been hypnotized by police investigators.
Oh.
Yes, you heard that correctly.
Fucking with a little
Yes,
pocket watch.
literally that. There was I don't know if you guys knew this. There was literally, like, from the UK, professional hypnotists who work on a medical side, and that was actually popular in the US around the time. And so they would literally medically hypnotize people to try to remember things. So that's why this was overturned. It's because they were literally hypnotized.
That's crazy.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. So, while preparing for their third prosecution in 2003, Orange County investigators learned that Alcala's DNA sampled under a new state law over his rejections matched the semen found at the rape and murder of at least 2 women in Los Angeles. Additional evidence, including another cold case DNA to match in 2004, led to Alcala's indictments of 4 additional women. The ones I haven't even talked about. I've talked about all the rest of them. Oh, I guess I've talked about these ones, but the Jill Barcombe, right, was found in the ravine in 1977. Georgia Wittex, 27, found bludgeoned in Malibu. Charlotte Lamb, 31, who was found strangled and raped in her laundry room in El Segundo. Jill Patnow, who was 21, and was found in her Burbank apartment. So literally all those DNAs where I was talking about, who he was leaving DNA behind him, cutting his hand, and doing all the other fucked up shit he was doing. Yeah, and they literally got his DNA because of the new law. And they're like, let's plug that in. And then it fucking hit immediately. And they're like, well, let's keep sentencing him to shit.
Yeah.
So, like I was talking about, so all the bodies were found posed in carefully chosen positions. Another pair of earrings was found in Alcala's Seattle, Washington storage apartment. So he was in Seattle at some point. So who knows who he killed up there. And then short time later, Bundy starts killing.
Yeah.
That's good.
So during his incarceration between the second and third trials, Alcala wrote and self-published a book, You the Jury. That's what it's called.
Okay.
In which he claimed innocence in the Sam Show case and suggested a different suspect. He also filed 2 lawsuits against the California penal system for a slip and fall incident. Refused. Sorry, that part makes me laugh. He filed a fucking lawsuit for slipping and falling in prison, which is like, you're the biggest pussy ever, and for refusing to provide him a low-fat diet. He's requesting a low-fat diet. He's like, I don't want to get fat in prison. I'm trying to fucking look nice.
Get fucked.
And they're like, no, you're getting a fat.
Was.
Oh, dude. Yeah, for sure. He's like, hey guys, I'm cool, right? And they're like, you're going to have another slip and fall incident, Rodney. So in 2003, prosecutors entered a motion to join the Sam Show charges with that of the 4 newly discovered victims. Alcala's attorneys contested. It was as one of them explained, quote, if you're a juror and you hear one murder case, you may be able to have reasonable doubt, but it's very hard to say if you have reasonable doubt in all 5, especially when 4 of the 5 aren't allegedly by eyewitnesses, but it can be proven by DNA matches. No shit, Captain Obvious. Go, well, he's gonna look guilty when all his evidence is against him. It's like, what are you talking about? Bro. Of course. So that's how it works. You're the worst lawyer I've ever heard. So stupid. It's like everyone in this story is stupid. I just don't understand. Like,
that's usually how it goes.
Except for that judge who was like death. the second judge that went death.
I feel like homeboy must have been like a southerner judge or something, because when I was hearing about everything that you're like talking about there, I was just like, yeah, no, I don't think a lot of that stuff would have flew in like some like deep Texas type court. They'd be like, nope, string that motherfucker up.
No, yeah, they wouldn't have gone on this long.
Mm-hmm.
No.
They would have been like, you're about to go visit our old Smokey. I've seen old Smokey in person. You guys know what old Smokey is?
Mm-hmm.
Is that an electric chair?
That is an electric chair. It is indeed an electric chair. It's in the it might still be there, but it was in the Museum of Death in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You could reach out and you could touch the arm grips.
Yeah.
With the wooden arm grips with the fingernails have crawled in.
Oh my god.
You can like touch out and feel the ridges. It's pretty cool.
I thought that'd be a crazy place to find out that you can like do premonitions or something, and it's like you see from like the killer's eyes them like literally dying. That would be wild as fuck.
Yeah, it would be pretty intense. As long as it's not what's that guy's name? Kind of like the Mighty Mouse killer. What was that fucking guy's name? He was a really short serial killer.
Yeah.
Oh, what was this fucking...
Dude, I was just about to while you're looking that up, I was going to ask the question, like, has there ever been like a like serial killer who was like a little person? Who, like, was like, say, going after guys like me? I'm like 6'3". I'll tell you, if there was like a scary serial killer who was like pint-sized, that would be very unassuming. You would let your guard down, and then that'd probably be it.
I'm sure that's probably happened. I was thinking of Pee Wee Gaskins. He was 5'4".
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to cover Pee Wee Gaskins because that's another insane serial killer story.
Sure.
But he was put in an electric chair, and I'm pretty sure his like eyes exploded.
Oh,
he was just like... was that a good like representation?
Well, yes.
It's the final truth. I wrote this book called The Final Truth. You can go ahead and do that to me. What you're not gonna do?
Fucking his eyes were like. Anyway,
why did I think?
Spoiler alert for that episode. I will do that voice again.
I just thought of like popcorn, and I just thought that'd be really wild.
Yeah, well, fucking. Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I just kept thinking about Pee Wee Gaskins just being like, he's such an asshole. We'll do an episode on him because he's another fucking crazy person, but his voice is insane. Anyway, for the third trial, Alcala elected to act as his own attorney. which
Never good.
Which is very Ted Bundy of him to do, right? So he took the stand in his own defense, and for 5 hours he played both the roles of the interrogator and witness, asking him questions, addressing himself as Mr. Alcala in a deeper than normal voice, followed by him answering them. So it'd be like, so during his self-questioning and answering session, he told jurors, often in a rambling monotone, that he was at Knott's Berry Farms applying for a job as a photographer at the same time as Sam Show was kidnapped. He's like, so tell me, Mr. Alcala, were you potentially the one who killed Sam Show? And he'd get back, he'd get on this, he'd just sitting there.
Yeah.
He'd just kind of turn and be like, no, actually, I was at Knott's Berry Farms trying to get a job as a photographer. I'm quite an accomplished photographer. And he's like, oh, really? Have I seen some of your work? And it was like this for fucking hours.
That's
Oh my God.
So it's like, and you know, the judge was just sitting there like, just watching him, like, and then like the prosecution just like looking at their notes, just letting him. They're like, fuck it, like he's digging himself his own hole, dude. We don't need to do anything. Like, you're an idiot. Yes. He showed the jury a portion of his 1978 appearance in The Dating Game, an attempt to prove that the earrings found on Sam Show's. The earrings found in his Seattle locker were not his, not Sam Show's. Jed Mills, the actor who competed against Alcala on the show, told a reporter that the earrings were not yet socially acceptable accoutrement for men in 1978. Quote, "I never seen a man with an earring in his ear," he said. "I would have noticed them on him." Which is somewhat kind of fair, maybe. Sure. But you were also, I can't remember which one he was. I think he was the middle guy. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, he was the last guy.
Yeah, he was the last guy, the actor.
Okay.
Yeah, he was too busy fucking... that fucking
cheesing.
Yeah. Too busy being like, saying that weird shit. He's like, meow, or whatever he was doing.
Yeah, no. Dude was weird as fuck.
He was weird as fuck, dude. Every one of the episodes, except for the middle guy, was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
The host was weird.
Yeah.
The Bachelorette was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Everybody was weird. Alcala's a serial killer and a rapist. Everybody's weird.
Welcome to L.A.
No shit. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a typical Hollywood elite party. So Alcala made no significant attempt to dispute the four added charges, other than to assert that he could not remember killing any of the women. Which is not a good defense, Alcala.
No, it's not.
That's like the...
Not how that works.
That's not how that works. So go...
Not at all.
Go, Mr. Alcala, do you remember killing those four women in cold blood?
No.
Okay, well, that's it. Then we'll just go home. Like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you just go, well, you're clearly an asshole, and we're going to fry you again. So, in his closing argument, he played the Arlo Guthrie song Alice's Restaurant, in which the protagonist tells a psychiatrist that he wants to kill, which is also not a good thing to do in your closing statement.
No.
It only gets worse. Like, Bundy did this where he was talking to himself on the stand, you know? But at least Bundy knows case law.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after less than 2 days, the jury convicted him on all 5 counts of first-degree murder. And a surprise witness during the penalty phase of the trial was Shapiro. Tally Shapiro.
Oh, wow.
His first victim. His first victim in his adult crimes.
Yeah.
Richard Rappaport, a psychiatrist paid by Alcala and the only defense witness, testified that borderline personality disorder could explain that Alcala's claims that he had no memory of committing the murders. The prosecutor agreed that Alcala was, quote, a sexual predator who, quote, knew what he was doing was wrong and didn't care. And in March 2010, Alcala was sentenced to death for the 3rd fucking time. Just kill him at this point already.
Literally, it's not gonna change.
If you get 1 death penalty, you're eligible for your allotments to try to get out of it. Get like a different thing, right?
Yeah.
You get 2, right? You're technically still that. You get 3, you're done. Like you should just be done. Like you got 3, bro. Like it's
3 strikes
over.
and you're out.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Is.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. I understand that it's like law and all that stuff, but it's like, dude, you got it 3 times, dude. You're fucking cooked. Like, just They're going to kill you 3 times. They want to kill you 3 times.
Yeah.
You're done. So after his 2010 conviction, New York authorities announced that they would no longer pursue Alcala because of his status as a convict awaiting extradition. Nevertheless, in January of 2011, pretty relatively recent, a Manhattan grand jury indicted him for the murders of Crilly and Hover in 1971 and 1977. In June of 2012, he was extradited to New York, where he entered and not guilty pleas on both counts. On December 12th, he changes both pleas to guilty, citing a desire to return to California to pursue his appeals on his death penalty conviction. So, on January 7th, 2013, which was almost 10 years ago, which is crazy, a Manhattan judge sentenced Alcala to an additional 25 years to life, and death penalty cannot be an option since New York State didn't have one since 2007. So, he wasn't going to be killed in New York. But he was going to be killed 3 times in California, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I always go back to it. It's like, you know, keep the masses happy. I feel like guys like that would totally be worth it to revitalize gladiatorial combat. Have that guy out there fighting 3 starved lions. And, like, you know, we'll have PETA there to make sure that everything's done properly, to make sure none of the animals are harmed. But that guy, he's already got a death conviction, so it's like, you know, Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake. Well, how about let them eat that piece of shit?
I love it. So, with the identified photographs, so in March of 2010, the Huntington Beach, California, and New York City police departments released 120 of Alcala's photographs and sought to obviously identify the victims.
Yeah.
Approximately 900 additional photos could not be made public because they were so graphic.
Jesus Christ.
900.
Yeah.
100. So only 120 out of 1,020 were able to be released. 900 couldn't be released because they were too graphic.
Well,
think about the amount of short time that he was operating when he was taking those photos. He took 1,000 photos.
That's insane.
It is insane.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words, that's like 1,000,000 words. Like
it is literally 1,000,000 words.
and not a single one of them would be repeated for how crazy he really was.
Yeah. So in the first few weeks after police had kind of released those photos, police reported that approximately 21 women had come forward to identify themselves, and, quote, at least 6 families said they believe they could recognize loved ones who, quote, disappeared years ago and were never found. So there's probably still Alcala victims out there that have not been discovered.
Yeah.
None of the photos were unequivocally connected to a missing person case or unsolved murder until 2013. 110 of the original photos remain online, and the police continued to solicit the public's help. That's what I was talking about earlier, right? So I'll have to come back for this. Let's see. So in March of 2011, investigators in Marin County, California, north of San Francisco, announced that they were confident that Alcala was responsible for the October 9th, 1977 murder of 19-year-old Pamela Jean Pam Lamson, which is fucking crazy because my mom's name was Pamela Jean Stewart, which is insane, who disappeared after making a trip to Fisherman's Wharf to meet a man who offered to photograph her. Her battered, naked body was found subsequently in Marion County near a hiking trail with no fingerprints or DNA, but it was enough sufficient evidence to connect Alcala to the crime. This is years after these crimes.
Yeah.
He's still being caught for stuff. In September of 2016, Alcala was charged with the murder of 20-year-old Christine Ruth Thornton. Thornton and her lover moved away from her family to live in San Antonio after they had split up in Biloxi, Mississippi in June of 1977. She was last seen hitchhiking and was never heard from again. In 2013, an image was made public by Huntington Police and NYPD of a dark-haired woman riding a motorcycle while wearing a yellow shirt and was recognized by Thornton's sister. Her body was found in Sweetwater, Wyoming, along Interstate 80 in 1982, was not identified until 2015 when DNA supplied by Thornton's relatives matched tissue samples of her remains. And by this point, he was going to be charged again for another murder. He was 73 years old at this time, Alcala was.
Yeah.
And was literally too sick to go from California to Wyoming. So he was not just killing in New York and Los Angeles, he was killing across the U.S.
Yeah.
Continuing on, in 2010, Seattle police named Alcala as a person of interest in several unsolved murders in Washington state. Since Alcala rented a Seattle area storage unit, which investigators later found jewelry belonging to 2 of his California victims in 1979. Other cold cases were reportedly targeted for reinvestigation in California, New York, New Hampshire, and fucking Arizona. He was everywhere. He was killing everywhere. He wasn't just like a Son of Sam killing in New York. He wasn't just like fucking, I don't know, Dahmer killing in Milwaukee. He was going across the U.S. like Israel Keys and just killing people constantly.
Insane.
When he'd make those long road trips back and forth, that's what he was doing. He would get the urge, he'd pull over and kill. There are so many other victims that are from like the Seattle area, and they're all pretty much the same exact MO. We have Cherry Ann Greenman, age 20. We have Antoinette Jean Whitaker, age 13. We have Francine Gaunt, age 17. It goes on and on and on. Right?
Yeah.
Fred, I stand in amazement that having grown up in Seattle and just knowing now how much shit has happened.
Yeah.
It's amazing nothing ever happened to me. It's because I will take ownership. I was very aloof as a child, and I feel like, again, being an only child, I feel like it kept me from experiencing certain things that I think are very good in development of a kid. And I'm just like, my ass was really fucking lucky then, because it's amazing how much shit happened.
It's every major city. There's always something stalking in the shadows. Yeah. And I haven't even brought this up yet because I was gonna wait to share. So let's get to the best part of the story.
Okay.
Right. The best part of the story. So July 24th, 2021, at the age of I guess I cut that off. July 24th, at the age of 2021, Rodney Alcala fucking dies in the Kings County jail. Or Kings County prison, of a heart attack. He fucking dies in a cell and he dies alone.
Oh, he was in Seattle. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So he dies. So
I know where that jail is. If it's the King County jail, I know exactly where it is because it's downtown right next to I-5.
Yeah, he was 77 at the time. He was in the hospital in Kings County because he was suffering all those health conditions while going to go and be questioned. So I guess they were like, well, he can't go to Wyoming. Well, fuck it. I don't know Seattle. Unless it's a different Kings County, which I don't, maybe there's a King County in California, but I think it's just Los Angeles County. I don't know where the prisons are at down there. I know it's like San Quentin and stuff. Is that Texas? I don't know. But yeah, so he's dead. He's finally dead. It's over, except it's not. Because following his death in 2021, which was just 4 years ago, he died 4 years ago, which is crazy.
Yeah.
68-year-old Morgan Rowan contacted Steve Hodel, one of the original investigators in the Shapiro case, and described being attacked by Alcala in July of 1968 when she was 16 years old. Rowan claimed that she was living in Hollywood and was approached by Alcala at a teen nightclub on the Sunset Strip and entered his car believing that he was driving them to an IHOP restaurant. Instead, Alcala drove away to his apartment a few blocks away where he said he was having a party. When he arrived, Alcala then dragged her into the house and assaulted her. Rowan was rescued by her friends and acquaintances who had broke into the room through a window, and Alcala fled.
Jeez.
And then that was that. She didn't report it. And then a short time later, Shapiro attack occurs. And then it just kicks off.
Like literally what could have been.
Yeah. It's insane. But yeah, Rodney Alcala's fucking dead. Let's go. We did it.
Did it.
Some of my favorite parts of doing these serial killer stories. You talk about how awful these fucking guys are and how much I hate these guys. And then at the end, I'm like, and then they died. They died alone, you know, and terrified. Their vision begins to blur. The light begins to fade from their eyes. And they know then that they will meet the devil incarnate.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Have you ever gone to a prison to meet somebody who you've done one of these stories on?
No, I would probably just talk mad shit the entire time. I would do the old I would do the old Nick Swartzen bit where I'd pull my balls over my wrist and go like, "Oh, can you check my watch?" And then Dennis Rader would be like, "Yeah, no problem." I'm like, "Oh, you bastard!" I'm like, "I got you, dude.
Gotcha.
You fucking idiot." And then I would pull him from the back, you know, and be like, "Oh, I sat in gum."
Sat in gum. Oh my god.
And he's like, "Oh, what? Oh." Like, "I got you, Dennis. You fucking dumbass." Yeah, no, I've never done that. It wouldn't be very good. I'd probably just talk a lot of shit.
That'll be perfect for HGO podcast 250. Here we go.
Oh my god. Going to a prison to talk to a serial killer. Just be like, "Why are you such a piece of shit?" Go on. They're like, "Well," then they have to try to backpedal out of it.
Yes.
Be like,
yeah.
"But you're in prison for being, you know, a piece of shit and being a problem." Like, "Well," like, "No, you can't just fucking me, you fucking bastard.
Come on.
Dummy." No. Yeah. It's like, just, I don't know. It would not be good.
No, probably not.
I would rather go interview a cult, a former cult leader.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Someone who was like, "I robbed people of millions of dollars from starting a cult. And now I'm in prison for 15 years.
Yeah.
Be like, okay. Then I like to sit down with them and be like, because you're interesting. These people are killing for sexual thrill. And it's like, but you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
You know? So no, I can't say that I have.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Thank
Fair
you.
enough.
Did everyone have fun?
I would say fun is the way to do it.
Yeah. It's highly interesting, but it's also highly fucked up.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say this is one that definitely took me for a ride, and I'm glad that I knew a little bit beforehand, because it's like the level of in-depth information far surpassed anything I knew.
Yeah.
If you guys had to describe that dating game episode with one word, how would you describe it?
Weird.
Cringe.
Unsettling.
Yes.
It's like weird, cringe, and unsettling is how I would describe that dating game episode. It's very odd. The entire episode is odd.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I was curious if other episodes are that creepy, and they are.
Huh.
They are just that weird. Like some people come on and they're like, "Oh, you know, I'm just charming." You know, it's like, and they're like, "Oh, you're trying way too hard." You know.
Yeah.
It's like you're hamming it up for the cameras. But Rodney Alcala just has this way about him. I'm like, God, dude, you're a literal serial killer at this point.
I didn't find him charming at all.
No.
He's just weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing what I was talking about is we know what he did. Mm-hmm. You know, so our subconscious is being like, that guy's a real bad guy. But think about being a member of the audience where this guy's making these wisecracks and these jokes. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh yeah, he's just this guy's being kind of goofy, and that's all you know about this guy. Meanwhile, he's a fucking literally one of the worst human beings to ever exist.
I don't know. I don't know. I still think would have thought he was odd.
Yeah, no, he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
you got it. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, you're a sick fuck. But excuse me, if you found this episode interesting, you can follow us on all our socials, HGOPodcast. We're on everything, TikTok, Instagram, X. It's on there. Want to send us some hate mail about this episode, or if you want to suggest something, you can send it on any of our socials. You want to suggest something, Instagram's obviously a good one. But you can email us, HGOPodcast@gmail.com. Go ahead and check that out. And just, shoot us off an email. Send us more hate mail. We'd love to read it. And if you want to send me some hate mail directly, you can at I Hunt the Haunted. And I was going to do an ad before the episode started, and I forgot. So I'll just do it now. Gas Food Lodging, No Teeth, No Brains. New record out now. I do a little feature on it. Go check it out. I also did the album artwork, but it's my boys, GFL, Gas Food Lodging, at GFL_the punk band, or punk band, something like that. Pass off to.
Hi, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. You can also follow our dog, who's currently asleep in her dino jammies, at Spirit the Turb on Instagram. That being said, you can also, this comes out this Sunday? Ish.
Something like that, like Wednesday, Sunday.
Well, the weekend of the Florida Dog Show, you can catch us on akc.tv.
That's pretty cool.
Because we're going to Florida to do a dog show.
Yay!
Yay! It's weird. She'll do her best. You can watch me be an idiot on live TV. Isn't that cool? Anyways,
is pretty cool.
Pass it off to Bill.
Get the fuck out of my swamp. No, I'm Bill. You can catch me on Snapchat and TikTok at Thrill of Bill, where, I can tell you it is easy being green. This is what I need to do going forward, is just fucking green. That's going to be my theme.
I think you just need to be green every time you come on the podcast.
Yeah.
You're just riding on the train, getting out here, and you're just green.
It would be so funny if we got you one of those green screen like morph suits.
Oh my god!
And then we just chroma keyed that out into like whatever our subject matter is.
That would actually be dope.
But we can cut out your face, so it's just your face floating, and then like in the your body is just moving for like whatever we're talking about.
I want to be like the,
so you're like an
the
Amorphous
Teletubbies son.
Oh my
That'll
God.
just be me. I wanted to say this before we leave. It's my birthday on December 8th, so this next Monday, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I'm not doing anything special. I'm just not going to work, and I'm really excited about that.
That's
really
such
excited.
a mood.
That's
I never work on my birthday.
That's so fucking sweet.
I always take my birthday off.
Yeah, that was the thought. I was like, I just want to hang out at home and not have to work.
This is my dad's birthday recently, and I called him, and I was like, "Happy birthday! What'd you do today?" He's like, "I went to work," and I was like, "You went to work on your birthday?" One day.
My company actually pays for us to have our birthdays off, but that's not important.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah,
I just don't
know.
make money that day.
Yeah, I still make money that day. It's pretty cool. Anyway,
pretty
remember
cool.
to stay spooky
Stay haunted.
and peel me. I don't know. Fuck Rodney Alcala.
I'm a banana.